Welcome to online class. Hi, this is your social science teacher, geography from Danish School, Kolatur. Okay, just look over Unit 4. I'm going to take, that is India, resources and industries. Okay, last class I taught you about Unit 3. I hope you would have done the homework, that is map work, and you would have understood my entire lesson which I have explained you. Now, this is Unit 4, India resources and industries. From the topic itself you can able to understand what do you mean by resources and industries of India. Okay, so there are 4 objectives to learn about the resource and its types. Second objective is to understand the concept of renewable and non-renewable resources. And the third factor is to identify the different types and distribution of industries in India. The last is to analyze the problems of Indian industries. Okay. So, from the topic resources and industries means what, children? Resources. We have so many resources in our country. Okay. That we are using it over. And we are very much lucky to be in India that we are using all these resources. Okay. And industries, based on the resources, the industries have been set up all over the India. Okay. So we are talking about all these resources and industries right now. Okay. Just see the introduction. Any matter or energy derived from the environment that is used by living things including humans is called a natural resource. Okay, what do you mean by resource? Any matter or energy derived from the environment that is used by living things including humans is called a natural resource. Okay, derived from the environments. What do you mean by environment? Environment means what, how we are living, where we are living. We are living on earth. Okay, we are living on, we are seeing the trees, we are utilizing the trees, plants, coal, petrol, everything. So these are all the environment resources that we are using it for a living being. Is called a natural resource. Okay, natural resources include air, water, soil, minerals, fossil fuels, plants, wildlife, etc. Okay, what are the natural resources? Put up in your mind. That includes air, water, soil, minerals, fossil fuels, plants, wildlife, etc. Many natural resources are used as raw materials. They play a vital role in the economic development of any region. Okay, natural resources are classified on several bases. Based on continued availability, the resources are categorized into 2 types. Okay, based on the category of the natural resources, it has been classified into 2 types. What are those 2? Renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Okay, renewable resources are those which have natural regeneration after their utilization. Okay, renewable means what? What do you mean by renew? Renew means what? With the name itself you can understand. Renew. New means it's very thing, new brand. And renew means RENEW means that after the usage of the new one, again it has been used up. Okay. So it is called renew. So renewable resources are those which have natural generation. Regeneration after this utilization. After the usage of those things, it can be used up again. Okay, renewable, recycle, you can understand recycle means it can be used up again, can be renewable again. Okay, so renewable resources are those which have natural regeneration after utilization. Okay, so it can be used up again after the regeneration. Now example I'll tell you. Solar energy, wind energy, biogas, tidal energy, wave energy, etc. are the renewable resources. These are the renewable. The solar energy after generating from the sun, it can be regenerated for using up in various ways. Similarly, wind energy, biogas also, tidal energy which has been taken from the tides, and wave energy too. Okay. These are all the renewable resources. You have to put in your mind what are the renewable resources, which means solar energy, wind energy, biogas, tidal energy, wave energy are the renewable. What are the non-renewable? Now I'll tell you. Non-renewable are coal, petroleum, natural gas fall under non-renewable resources because it cannot be replaced again. Okay, children? Coal can be used again once it is used? No use of it. Petroleum can be used once it is used? It is evaporated. No. Natural gas can be used again after using? No. So, these are all the non-renewable resources. Once it is used, it cannot be regenerated again. That is called the non-renewable. Okay. So, the natural resources are under the two categories, renewable and non-renewable. Okay. Now, coming to the minerals. Okay, what do you mean by mineral? Mineral is a natural substance of organic or inorganic origin with definite chemical and physical properties. The process of extracting mineral from earth is known as mining. Okay, what do you mean by minerals? Mineral is a natural substance of organic or inorganic origin with definite chemical and physical. Okay, with definite chemical and physical property. Okay. The properties will be later on telling you. Now, what do you mean by minerals and where it has come and where it has been extracted, I will tell you now. Okay. The process of extracting mineral from the earth is known as mining. The mines near the earth crust are known as open pit mines, while the deep mines are known as shaft mines. Okay. The process of extracting mineral from the earth is known as mining. The mines near the earth crust are known as open pit mines, while the mines which are very deep are called shaft mines. So, minerals under the category falls mining, and mining under having two subdivisions, that is pit mines and shaft mines. Okay, children? Understand? Okay. The organizations associated with minerals in India are the Geological Survey of India, headquarters is at Calcutta. Okay. Indian Bureau of Mines, headquarters at Nagpur. Non-Ferrous Material Technology Development Center, NFDDC, Hyderabad. The Ministry of Mines is responsible for the administration of all mines and minerals. Development and Regulation Act, that is 1957. Okay, these are the organizations. What do you mean by organizations? Industries like they have associated with minerals, and these are the survey headquarters which have been opened up in these areas, that is Calcutta, Nagpur, Hyderabad and so many other places. That is called the Development and Regulation Act. Okay children, you should memorize all these names. Now coming to the types of minerals. Okay. Now you have learnt about the minerals, that is under the mining, open pit mines and shaft mines are there. In the minerals there are two types, that is on the basis of chemical and physical properties. Minerals are broadly classified under two categories. They are metallic and non-metallic. Okay, metallic and non-metallic. What do you mean by metallic? I'll tell you. Metallic minerals are the minerals which contain one or more metallic elements in them. Metallic minerals occur in rare, okay, some rare only, it's not everywhere you can obtain it, okay. Naturally formed concentrations known as mineral deposits. These deposits consist of a variety of valuable metals such as iron, manganese, copper, bauxite, nickel, zinc, lead, gold, etc. Okay. Under the metallic minerals, they are the metallic elements which are very rare. You should memorize these important points, key points, that is metallic minerals. Once if you remember, you have to think it is rare obtaining. Okay. And it is the form of concentrations. And those deposits consist of variety of valuable metals such as iron, manganese, copper, bauxite, nickel, zinc, lead, gold, etc. These are the metallic elements. Now, under the subdivision of metallic minerals, iron ore is the first element. Iron ore is the most widely distributed element of the earth crust. Rarely occurs in a free state. It enters into the composition of many rocks and minerals. It especially from igneous and metamorphic rocks. Okay, the iron is usually found in the following form. So you can see the iron in this form, that is magnetite. Iron content will be in the magnetite will be 72.4%. Hematite, where in this metal iron ore you can get the iron content about 69.9%, goethite 62.9%, limonite 55% and siderite 48.2%. These are the form of iron ores where the iron content is this percentage. Okay. It enters into the composition of many rocks and minerals, especially from igneous and metamorphic rocks. The total recoverable reserves of Indian iron ore are hematite and magnetite. Okay, in this only most of the reserves will be there of iron ore in this element iron. That is in hematite and magnetite. Only in these it will be more of iron element. Okay, I told you already the percentage, maximum percentage is magnetite is 72.4 and hematite is 69.9%. Okay. So coming to the Jharkhand. What do you mean by the place Jharkhand? Jharkhand is the very important place where it is also known as the leading producer of iron ore with 25% the country's production. Okay. 25% of India's production will be fallen in this place, that is called Jharkhand. It is the leading producer of iron ore. Singhbham, Hazaribagh, Dhanbad and Ranchi districts are its major producers. These are the four major producers of these iron ore element. Odisha with 21% production ranks second. Okay, number 1 is Jharkhand, number 2 is Odisha, and Sundargarh, Mayurbhanj, Sambalpur and Keonjhar districts are its major producers. Okay, number 1 is Jharkhand, you have to memorize it for iron ore element, and the number 2 is Odisha. Okay, and the Sundargarh, Mayurbhanj, Sambalpur, Keonjhar are the major producers after Odisha and Jharkhand. Now, the magnetite production of Chhattisgarh is 18%. Okay, Chhattisgarh is 18%. Rajgarh and Bilaspur are its leading districts, and the Karnataka is 20%. Chikmagalur, Chitradurga, Shimoga and Dharwad districts are its major producers. Okay, these are the very important states where you have to memorize it for 18%. Okay, Chhattisgarh is for 18% magnetite production and the Karnataka is 20%. Okay, that is in Karnataka. These are the places, that is cities where the iron production will be there. That is Chikmagalur, Chitradurga, Shimoga and Dharwad. Okay, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu produce about 5% each. Only 5% each. Kurnool, Guntur, Kadapa and Anantapur districts in Andhra Pradesh and Salem. Namakkal, Tiruvannamalai, Tiruchirappalli, Coimbatore, Madurai and Tirunelveli districts in Tamil Nadu are notable for the production of iron ore. Okay, these are the places where which is of 5% and it is the production of iron ore. Okay. Now coming this important thing, what do you mean by SAIL? SAIL, SAIL. Look at the logo in the blue box. SAIL, SAIL, Steel Authority of India Limited. The Ministry of Steel is responsible for planning and development of iron and steel industry in India. This is the industry where the Steel Authority will be responsible for planning and development of iron from all these places. Okay, SAIL is the important industry. Because of this iron ore, the industry has opened and the production will be from this place only, from this industry only. Okay, it's very important. Now coming to the manganese. Okay, manganese means what, children? Manganese is a silvery grey element. It is very hard and brittle in nature. It is always available in combination with iron, laterite and other minerals. It is an important mineral used for making iron and steel. Okay. It is very important element and serves as a basic raw material for alloying. It is the most important mineral for making iron and steel. Okay. So, manganese is a very silvery grey. It will be in a color of grey, silver like. Okay. It is very hard and brittle. It will be very hard. And the combination of iron, laterite and other minerals. Because of all the few minerals will be all together with this element manganese, it is very hard. It is important mineral used for making iron and steel and serves as basic raw material for alloying. It is the most important mineral for making iron and steel. Nearly 10 kg manganese is required for manufacturing 1 ton of steel. Okay, nearly 10 kg of manganese is required for manufacturing 1 ton of steel. So for making 1 ton of steel, the industry required 10 kg of manganese. It is also used in the manufacturing of bleaching powder, insecticides, paints and batteries. You can see the batteries also having an element that is called manganese. Okay. So this is the company and that is industry where the manganese is developed. MOIL. Okay. MOIL. MOIL. Manganese Ore India Limited. State-owned manganese ore mining company headquartered in Nagpur. With a market share of 50%, it was the largest producer of manganese ore in India. Okay. So, MOIL is the place, that is a company where headquartered in Nagpur. You have to memorize it is in Nagpur. Market share of 50%, largest producer of manganese ore in India. Okay. The manganese deposits occur mainly as metamorphosed bedded sedimentary deposits. The largest deposits of manganese is found in Odisha, followed by Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Goa, Andhra Pradesh, Jharkhand, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Telangana and West Bengal. Together constitute about 2% of the India's manganese resource. India is the 5th largest producer of manganese in the world. Okay, it is the 5th largest manganese in the world. Now coming to the copper. Copper is the first metal that prehistoric man has started using for many purposes. So, first metal which was being used, copper. Okay, being flexible, it can be made into utensils of any shape. Brass and bronze are obtained when the copper alloys with zinc and tin respectively. From the copper, brass and bronze has been extracted. Okay, and it alloys with zinc and tin respectively. If it is added with zinc and tin, brass and bronze can be taken from the copper. Copper has been commonly used for making cooking utensils and other objects of common utility. In modern days, it is extensively used in vast variety of electrical machinery, wires and cables. Okay, you would have seen the wires where the electrician, when he works, you can see the brown color wires, cables going on. That is only made up of copper. Without the wires, can you be able to generate the electricity at your home? No. Without the cable, copper wire, can you be able to go out without the lighting of on the road? No. So copper is very important all over the world and all over India it has been used. Okay, it is very important element and it is the first metal during the prehistoric time. Largest reserves of copper ore is in the state of Rajasthan, followed by Jharkhand and Madhya Pradesh. The states of Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Haryana, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Odisha, Sikkim, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttarakhand and West Bengal account for 7.9% of the total copper reserves of India. In this, just see the blue color box, Hindustan Copper Limited. See the logo, HCL. Okay, HCL, not that BPO company. This is HCL, Hindustan Copper Limited, HCL. It is a government-owned corporation in the Central Public Enterprise under the Ministry of Mines, India. Okay. So this is a very government-owned corporation based for the copper metal. Okay, this is a very famous company, industry I can say. Okay, so now coming to the bauxite. Coming to the bauxite, bauxite is an important ore from which aluminium is extracted. It is found in the rock consisting mainly of hydrated aluminium oxides. Bauxite is widely distributed as surface deposits in the areas of laterite soil. Okay, laterite soil you would have studied already in the third lesson about the soils. Being light in weight and tough, aluminium is used in the manufacture of aircraft and automobile engines. Bauxite is also used in the manufacture of cement and chemicals. Okay, manufacture of aircraft, where you see the aeroplanes, where you see the jet planes, where you see so many planes, are which type of metal? Bauxite. Okay, from the bauxite aluminium is extracted. Okay, and it is very light in weight. Okay, being light in weight and tough, it is very hard also but very light. Okay, so bauxite is an oxide of aluminium. The name has been derived after the French word "libox." Okay, so it has been the French word "libox." The main bauxite deposits occur in Odisha, Gujarat, Junagadh, Amreli and Bhavnagar districts, Jharkhand, Ranchi and Gumila districts, Maharashtra, Sindhu, Durg and Ratnagiri, Chhattisgarh, Balarpur and Durg districts and Tamil Nadu. Okay, these are the main bauxite deposits occur in these places. Okay, and NALCO. What do you mean by NALCO? You would have seen this in newspaper everywhere. National Aluminium Company Limited, abbreviated as NALCO, incorporated 1981, has units in Odisha at places like Angul and Dhamon, Jodi. It was incorporated as a public sector enterprise of the Ministry of Mines, Government of India in 1981. Okay children, it has been set up in 1981 for based on the aluminium metal. Okay children, that is called NALCO. Now coming to the non-metallic minerals. Coming to the non-metallic minerals, these minerals do not contain metal in them. Example, mica, limestone, gypsum, nitrate, potash, dolomite, coal, petroleum, etc. are the non-metallic minerals. Okay, do you feel in mica you feel any metal? No. In limestone do you feel any metal? No. Do you feel metal in coal? No. In petrol? No. So these are the non-metallic minerals. From the name itself you can understand it is a non-metallic mineral. Now coming to the talking about mica. Okay, in ancient time mica was used in Ayurvedic medicine. Mica became very popular with the development of electrical industry. Abrak is the good quality mica. It is translucent, easily splittable into thin sheets, flat, colorless, elastic and incompressible. Okay, so it is very light, thin sheets can be made from mica. It is flat and it is colorless. Okay, and it is incompressible. Mica is used in making of insulating properties as it withstands high voltage and has low power loss factor. Okay, since it is a non-conductor of electricity, it is exclusively used in electrical goods. So non-conductor means what? What children? Not non-conductor, you would have read in science. The current will not pass on. So it is a non-conductor. Okay, bad conductor. It is exclusively used in electrical goods. It is also used in making of lubricants, medicines, paints and varnishes. Okay. The major deposits of mica are found in Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan, Odisha and Jharkhand. Limestone. Limestone is associated with rocks composed of either calcium carbonate or the double carbonate of calcium and magnesium or mixture of both. Okay, the mixture of calcium and magnesium comes the double carbonate, that is called limestone. It also contains small quantities of silica, alumina, iron oxides, phosphorus and sulfur. Okay. Limestone is used in the industries of chemicals for soda ash, caustic soda, bleaching powder, paper, cement, iron and steel, glass and fertilizers. Okay, this limestone has been used in these places like paper, bleaching powder, cement, all these things. Without the limestone also, these cannot be manufactured. So limestone is important. Even in the fertilizers also. Okay. The major producing areas are Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Meghalaya, Gujarat and Chhattisgarh. Okay. Limestone is also important. Now coming to the gypsum. Okay. Gypsum, Gypsum, gypsum. It is a hydrated sulfate of calcium which occurs as white, opaque or transparent minerals in beds of sedimentary rocks such as limestone, sandstone and shale. Gypsum is used in the manufacture of cement. Okay. The cement where the buildings has been constructed, gypsum has been used in the cement. Fertilizers, wall board, plaster of Paris and in soil conditioning. Okay. What do you mean by gypsum? So plaster of Paris, you can see if you go to some garment showroom, if you go to some good places, okay, you can see a beautiful ceiling, okay, beautiful ceiling with lightnings, everything with made up of flowers or so many woodwork designs. Okay, that gypsum has been used as a plaster of Paris. Okay, the element as a plaster of Paris has been used. It can make the beautiful house, it can make the beautiful showroom place. Okay, and in soil conditioning. Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh, Karnataka, Uttarakhand, Andhra Pradesh and Meghalaya are the major producers of limestone, gypsum. Okay children, so you have to understand all the metals, non-metals, that is minerals, types of minerals. Yeah. Okay, and now look at the map. Look at the map children, page number 171. Look at the map. Minerals of India. See, the red color is iron, circled one iron with spiral circled one iron where and all it's there. And manganese is a star where and all manganese has been produced. Copper is the square shaped black color, just see. Bauxite is the triangle shaped pink color. Limestone is the hexagon shape. Gypsum is the green color. Mica is like cross, that is plus. And gold is in a yellow shape. Okay, yellow color in different three shape. Okay, these are the places where these elements, that is minerals, has been produced in our country. Okay, so your homework is take a map, normal outlined map, and this minerals of India you have to color it. However it is same in the textbook, likewise you have to do it at your home and paste it in your classwork. Okay, a map. So your homework of this lesson is, unit 4 lesson is, you have to take over the map, do this at your home and beautifully you can color it. Color in the sense wherever the points should be there. Okay, this is your homework and this is from the lesson unit 4 map, minerals of India, and the next same lesson, the remaining part will be continued in the next class. Okay children, okay, so please try to finish it off, this map, and paste it in your social science classwork, that is geography unit, and go through the lesson please. Okay, just like that, you don't keep it close, please go through the lesson and follow it up. Okay, the next class will be the non-renewable energy resources. Okay, I'll be talking about the energy resources. What are the energy resources? Okay, the next class, please look over it and do this homework. Okay children, Okay, please understand the lesson and try to go through it. Okay, thank you, children.